La 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 la. It's giving Claudia Oshry from the Toast.
It's giving my left eye will not stop twitching.
Wait, out of the Toasters, are you Claudia and I'm Jackie, or are you Jackie and I'm Claudia?
No.
You think I'm Jackie?
Yes, little Miss Prepster.
Oh my god, you're right. She's like so.
She's so preppy.
She's so preppy, and I guess like Claudia's more funny and you're funnier. Yeah, it's giving like I already have 2 kids.
Yes,
and then like, our second child,
you're like ginger.
Oh, you know, you guys, I'm slightly ginger.
You're ginger. I'm dark haired.
No, I really am ginger. I see myself in the light sometimes, and that's the way the tone goes to, you know.
Yeah. Any hoots.
Welcome to another episode of the
Guys,
PPP,
my
babies.
left eye is twitching like
we've already told her what it means, and she doesn't listen.
Oh, it's stress. Okay, great, cool. Now what?
I don't know. Maybe you should be more chaotic.
Wait, what are you doing after this?
What do you mean?
Oh, I have.
You have something.
I really just want to go get a steak at Casa Tua, and no one will ever want to come with me.
You already have like 20 friends. You can't call one of them.
Would you want to go to Narbona tonight for dinner?
Interesting take.
I just want a steak and a sweet potato. Like, somebody help me.
I shall think about it. I'll let you know at the end of this episode.
All right, fine.
I have to check my schedule.
To wait a whole...
I have to check my schedule.
Okay.
So, anywho, you guys, this episode is all about mindfulness, consciousness, and spirituality. We are going to discuss a few principles and lessons that we've been talking about a lot recently. They all come from the beautiful Kabbalistic wisdom.
Well, we're really recapping this because I just started Kabbalah 1.
Yeah.
Not restarted. Started. For the first time.
And I feel like there's a lot of themes that we've been talking about.
Yeah, like every day. And this is one of my New Year's goals for 2025. It was to finish Kabbalah 1.
It's a 10-week course, you guys, once a week. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, and it will change your life.
Except for it starts at 8:30 and then ends at like 10, and then I get home at like 10:45 because then we sit there and talk after. It's amazing. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that's why my eye might be twitching because I've been not sleeping.
You cannot be blaming this on one Kabbalah class.
No, I know. Every Monday. But then Tuesday, I wake up like,
what are you talking about?
Anywho.
The blessings that will come out of all of the things you shall learn.
Already been flowing. So I'm not complaining. I'm just being funny.
So we're basically going to go over a few of the things that we've learned that we thought were really life-changing that you guys can also implement into your life. And then we're also just going to discuss it and babble, you know, because that's, you know, the solo episode.
And also
is
like
good without that.
I want to preface because I'm like reading my notes and obviously I just write like what Ariel says, the teacher. And like I'm just so not going to explain it as well as him because he's so perfect.
No, but you can go back to that episode which we did interview him and you can listen to it.
And his accent makes everything even better.
Yeah, no, he's the best. And if not, also, you know, we can always have him back.
Yeah.
If you guys like love this topic.
This is a great topic. Honestly, ever since class 1, which it's only been class 2 basically, but I have been implementing everything I've learned like every single day.
That's like so amazing because I like have been studying this for like 5-6 years and I forget.
Yeah, but like because you haven't done Kabbalah 1 in so long. But like my honestly, want to know my favorite?
I've actually been like doing it over and over and over again.
I'm like, you were on your phone last class.
Okay, to be fair,
which I get.
I think that like the universe is telling me like, bitch, you're gonna be mentoring these Kabbalah ones until you fucking get the concepts over and over again and start actually implementing them into your life because
which that's a topic.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I want to start with this one, not what you think. I want to start with what he said. Nothing is all of a sudden.
Nothing is all of a sudden.
I love that he said that because I've just been thinking about it a lot lately. And it even ties in with, I think, maybe it's not correct, but this is how I've been thinking about it. It even really ties in with the universe is going to keep sending you the same person or same situation until you learn. And it's not like all of a sudden. It's not like, oh, today, I mean, for me, obviously, because this happens a lot. My tenants are being crazy and like blah, 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 blah. And it's stressing me out and la, la, la. Like that kept happening for a while until I set a boundary.
Yeah.
And like, it wasn't all of a sudden, like something happened all of a sudden, the plumbing broke and this and that. It's like, I just wasn't learning my lesson. So like something had to happen for me to like relearn my lesson again for the 100th time.
No, and why that situation's going to keep coming up for you until you literally react differently.
Right.
Proactively.
Right. Which is wild.
It is.
I think I just have trouble, and this is my people pleasing. It's like I'm such a, and I don't mean this in a boastful way, it's just like obviously coming from a place of insecurity and lack and fear, haha. But I'm such a like friendly, nice person. Like I always want everyone to like feel good, and like I just get confused on the line of like being a bitch or setting a boundary.
Maybe deep down you're the golden retriever.
No, I think you act the same way sometimes.
No.
Way less now. Like I've learned a lot from you.
Totally. No, I think that it's a fine line of just, it is a fine line, but it's not being a bitch. It's just knowing your place and knowing your boundaries and what you feel comfortable with letting people get to a certain point. Because if you're okay with it and you feel good giving to people, that's fine. But you know when it starts to like take from your energy and it's more negative, and you then start to like complain about it, or you start to like feel taken advantage of, and like that's when you know like you're giving too much of yourself. And then it's not like you're being a bitch. You're just gonna be like, listen, this is out of my, and it's so much easier to just put that fine line at the beginning.
Yeah, it's
which
way
is
easier.
Something that now I think we've both, because I think I too have this people pleasing part of me, that if you just lay it down from the beginning, it's so much easier than like down the line then putting it, because then it sounds like you're a bitch because you're like, wait, you were doing it before and now you don't want to do it.
Yeah, you're right.
But you're being so nice and like, oh, now suddenly you're not helping me with this.
Yeah.
And if you just like set it down from the beginning, it's like, oh, okay, I already know how far to go with her.
Yeah.
On the other side, nothing happens all of a sudden, and it's sort of like, it's just so beautiful. Like even when we have so many blessings in our life, I feel like, not that blessings don't happen all of a sudden, but it's also just a culmination of every little thing leading up to it as well. And I also think that like, I've spoken about this before, but I think it's just the best example. Like I sometimes have deals that end up being so smooth and so beautiful, and I'm like, wow, I love it. But it also came with like a series of events before that where I had to like be chill, not lose my cool, not be fearful that I might lose this deal or this buyer and like not make money. And if I just like keep going through chill and like not being attached to the outcome, all of those series of challenges per se then lead up to this beautiful blessing. And it's like, it's not like someone looking from the outside like, oh, all of a sudden, you know, it's so easy for you. It's like, no, there's lots of series of things that go behind it. And I think for anything, it's like you're building up to that, you know, every single day we're like planting seeds.
Yeah. So this even brings me back to, because I thought this was so interesting when he's like, if like you face a challenge, maybe not like a recurring challenge, like, I don't know, you get into just like a bad example, I'll just say something that I don't want to say.
Okay.
Anyway, long story short, if you face a challenge and then it's like, oh, you were gossiping and talking shit the day before, like
right, that
is already planting like a bad seed into the universe. And then it's like, something's going to happen. Like it's a little bit extreme, but it's not, you know, like that's a perfect example. I think.
Even bad negative thoughts. Like sometimes we need to work on, like sometimes I wake up and I start having negative thoughts, and it's not easy. You need to fight it. Like, wait, let me switch my mindset. Let me switch my mentality. And that's not like, it's so much easier to be like, oh, this could go wrong, you know? Yeah. And those are also things that like, then I'm manifesting, and it's like, oh, all of a sudden something went wrong, but it's like, I've been thinking negatively all day. What do you expect, you guys?
I know.
You know?
What I do.
And we're taking it back. We're like, oh.
I know. I have like spiraling negative thoughts, like really spiraling. It's okay. I have therapy after this. And what my therapist tells me to do, like literally in the middle of the night, this happens. And this is what I say. I cleanse, clear, and release that energy. I cleanse, clear, and release that energy. Like until I just like, you know, I'm so focused on like repeating that mantra that like I forget about what I was even thinking about before. In case anyone needed a tip. In case you have anxiety like me.
Okay, great.
Never mind. Okay, cool. So, and going off of the all of a sudden thing, I love that Ariel said the storm is an illusion and we need to find the sun. So it's like all these things are like, and this is going wrong, and this is going wrong, and this is going wrong. He's like, it's all an illusion. Like all you have to do is just like find the light, find the sun. Like how can we be the light? Can you elaborate on that?
I will. I'm going to go off of the next thing that I want to see that's been like a huge thing for me another thing that is huge is like asking yourself the first question if something's going wrong. It's ask, why is this in my movie? Like, why is this happening to me? So to go off what you said, it's like, sure, we're in the middle of a storm. To find the sun, we should ask, why is this happening to me? You know, because nothing in your life, no person or no thing or no challenge is there for no reason. It's all there for your growth. It's all there for you to get better. And I know that sounds sometimes really tough because some really hard things could happen. And some people are like, what do you mean everything happens for a reason, you know? But also everyone has their own journeys that they need to go on. But it is all there for your growth. And if you choose to see it that way and you choose to see the sun and you ask yourself, why is this my movie? And you try to get deep down, like, maybe it's here because I wasn't really being sharing, or I'm being too negative, or actually I was, you know, I'm being too judgmental and I need to learn to be a little bit more unconditional. And I have unconditional love for certain people around me or in my family or whatever. It's all there at the end to make us better humans. So I think that asking yourself that question will help illuminate to help find that guiding light. That's sun.
And when you do actually like sit there and ask yourself the question, like the answer comes, you know?
It does come.
And somebody actually said something really interesting in class on Tuesday when we were talking about like tikkuns, which we don't have to talk about right now. But she was basically asking like, why is my... like how can I get over my anxiety, which obviously it's a broad term, but that's exactly what she said. And our teacher was just like, well, anxiety is like a feeling, but it's not like, you can't pinpoint that. So it's like, what do you have anxiety about? Right? Like, then, okay, where is that stemming from? Someone was saying they procrastinate, so it gives them anxiety. Like, stop procrastinating. Do what you have to do. Do you not want to do what you have to do because doing your to-do list will actually make you successful, and therefore you'll get more responsibilities and you'll make more money, and you're not ready to receive all that? Is that why you're procrastinating?
Right.
And same for fear. Like, do you have anxiety because you're fearful over XYZ? Like, you have to get over your fear. Then you'll no longer feel anxiety. Of course, this sounds very simple, but like it actually is.
It really is. And it's all just about like peeling the layers and going deeper into knowing yourself. And because it's like you said before, it's all an illusion. Sure, I have an anxiety, but like just start peeling back the layers, asking yourself these questions. I think that's a number one thing that people can do. And you always have the answers.
Yeah. And even like with loss, which he even said is a very extreme example, but he did say like you can either go into victimhood. Why is this in my movie? Oh my God, I don't deserve this. To get depressed, drink, sex, drugs. Or you like take that and you say, why is this in my movie? Oh, to teach me patience. Oh, to teach me to give unconditional love. Oh, to teach me that life is really short. I really should be pursuing what I want to pursue. Oh, I really should be spending more time with my friends and family. Whatever that is for you. So it's like, even though that's the most extreme example, and I know it's hard for someone to say like it's an illusion, like that death is not an illusion, but like and there's still going to be sadness and hard days, but like what can you do with that? Like you can either sit there and be depressed, and that person kind of like died for nothing, or you can like take that experience and really like make it like tailor it to yourself and like make yourself a better person because of it. Use your pain to educate others, you know?
Absolutely. I feel like sometimes those are the moments that are so like deep and crucial in our lives, and it can be so transformational. It's when the most amount of growth can happen for a human, and where you can also, I think it's interesting, but I feel like where there's a lot of darkness, there's also a lot of light. So you can really reveal so much light. And let's take, for example, like these LA fires that happen. It's such a dark moment for everyone who lost their homes. But how many people are transforming this? And instead of just sitting at home and crying about it and saying like, I lost my home, I lost everything. I've seen people who are getting up, who have lost their own home and all their belongings and are still showing up to work. In this case, this person that I saw is in real estate. They're showing up to work every single day to help everyone else still find a home, even though they're going through such a tough moment. But you can still share so much. It can be so transformational. You can help other people and you can reveal so much from that instead of just sitting in your own pain. Or how many celebrities and influencers or just people and residents of LA have come out to show up and help, whether they've lost their own home or not. Like a lot of people having lost their own are still there. And so it's something that can be very beautiful. Every situation is, of course, different. And of course, everyone still needs to take their time depending on what it is. But, you know, it really does nothing for our soul or for the people around us to just dwell and to then just sit and crumble.
Yeah. And like every challenge really is an opportunity. And I was going to say something based off what you just said, having a brain fart. But, oh, yeah. So, like, there is so much pain during a time of transformation, but, like, it's so true that we're never going to grow when we're comfortable, you know? Like, you only grow through transformation. Like, when you're changing your life, like, it can be anything, you know? It can be going to the gym every single day. That's hard shit. But, like, harder to sit on your couch and keep getting fatter and fatter and fatter until you actually die
or unhealthy,
or then you're obese and then you have to go to the gym. That's way harder than getting up every day and just going, you know. Obviously a crazy example, but like, it's true. There's just always growth when you're getting uncomfortable, and it's really important to honestly get uncomfortable every day.
It's almost like people say, like, choose your heart, you know, like, all right, like having no money must be hard, and working for your money is hard. What hard do you want to do? You know, like, all those things. Going to the gym is hard. Not going to the gym is also hard. Eating healthy is hard because it's discipline. Not eating healthy is also hard because then you're going to have the consequences of not being healthy. Like, everything has its pros and cons, and none of which are going to be sort of easy down the line. Maybe it's easy instant gratification right now, but like you said, it's like, you know, it's sort of like choose your heart.
Yeah. I kind of want to talk about the law of similarity.
Okay.
Because I thought it was also a really important topic. And there's...
by the way, I was going to say, like, we have different topics.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. The law of similarity, basically, there are like two modes. You're either soul-driven or you're ego-driven. And when you're soul-driven, you're being proactive.
Yeah.
And when you're ego-driven, you're being reactive because you're coming from a place, obviously, of your ego, but like lack, fear, insecurity. And when you're coming from your soul, you're like filled with love, filled with joy, all of that. So in the law of similarity, like, a way that I was thinking about it is like, okay, if we're ego driven coming from all those things, like, you're going to start to surround yourself with those same types of people. You're going to surround yourself with like egomaniacs, people who are also like coming from insecurity and fear, and they're really not going to fill your cup. And weren't we talking about this the other day? Like, you are the people you surround yourself with.
Absolutely.
And, like, when you're soul driven, you're going to like keep opening pathways for like more amazing people to enter into your life that you can learn from and like be on the same wave as. Like, Jeff Bezos doesn't hang around with fucking losers and drug addicts and like freaks, you know?
No, I'm like, I don't think he would have gotten to where he was.
Exactly. So I just like that, the law of similarity, like, and how it pertains to who we're connecting with.
Absolutely. Another thing that's been huge for me is, and I've been hearing people say it a lot, is like, when we also, which also goes about, okay, I'm like, just get started, Gio. When we ask God, the universe, the creator, whatever we need, when we ask, like, please give me more blessings, give me more money, give me more opportunities, give me more work, give me more love, all these things, right? We're asking God to give us all of that. And you're going to get it, but it's almost like you have to work for it. And you have to then need to have the consciousness to notice when you get these opportunities to then like reveal that light. So let me explain. It's like, okay, I want, you know, more wealth. Great. Actually, there's a great example of a Kabbalistic teacher, David Guillaume, when he says, like, I was asking the creator for more success or whatever, right? And then he gets a phone call from someone at his work office, and they tell him news that they just were the victims of wire fraud and $1 million were taken away from them. Like, they got stolen. And he's like, in that moment, like, of course I wanted to freak out, like, maybe fire this person. Like, why did they do this wrong? And he's like, no. Like, I asked for more. And they say that in that moment, you can even say, like, you know, if that's what I need to go to my next level, then like, why didn't you take more? You could have taken 2 million, you know? Like, if that's what we need to go to our next level, then that's okay. Like, bring it on, kind of thing. And the way that he responded was so proactive, and they weren't able to recover the 1 million. But right after that, they like broke records and like just went like beyond like their sales, and it went, literally their company went to a whole other level. So it's sort of like, again, it goes to like seeing these challenges like in the moment. Sometimes we can be so caught up with our ego and be like, well, fuck this, you know, and this went wrong and that went wrong. And then instead of like choosing to look at it and sort of being like, relax, let me be proactive, and then the blessings do come on after. Had we not gone through that challenge and responded that way, maybe the blessing wouldn't have come because we weren't ready to receive it and we weren't ready for all of that. But because we went through that opportunity or challenge, we've like built the vessel to receive all of these blessings.
I mean, not to we're like so addicted to Mel Robbins, I guess, in our solos, but
Oh my God, yeah.
she literally talks about how like she went her and her husband like went bankrupt. They were like popping off, scaling their business. They go bankrupt. They're $800,000 in debt. Like
Crazy.
I just had the shivers all over my body. $800,000 in debt. She starts drinking. She doesn't want to get out of bed, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, we all know who Mel Robbins is today. So obviously she transformed her life. But when you're coming from a place of lack, you trigger more lack. So like now she's in debt. I'm in debt. Fuck this. Let me just start drinking. Now you're an alcoholic who's in debt. And it's like that same shit is going to keep happening because you're getting further and further away from the light. So to act from a place of like soul driven, I would say, is to like, okay, we're in debt. Like you just said, how can I be proactive about this? And like not keep going from a place of lack. Like David Guillaume, proactive, take more. I'm going to level up. And like he did.
Yeah. So now when I do this exercise, I really like, I'm like, okay, like taking it my next level in work, personally, like growth, give it to me. And it's so funny because I'll be like, okay, just give me whatever I need to grow. And the thing is like, it's like careful what you ask for in a way because things happen very quickly in this universe. And this happened last week. I asked for that and I kid you not, like an hour later, not even, I got like a really mean text from somebody. And that moment I could have already gone to anxiety. Oh my God, what's this person gonna think of me and what's gonna happen and this and that. And honestly, I was like, no, like this is my test. So I was like, I'm gonna pass this test. You know?
You're like, you think you got me?
I'm like, bitch, like I got you.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna send a much bigger test to make sure I pass. But I was like, no. And then I took a moment, and this goes to another huge theme and lesson is pause. Pause, what a pleasure. Pause, what an opportunity. And I was like, pause. This is one of those tests. Do not freak out. Do not engage. Do not spiral. Do not go into your negative thoughts. And it's okay. I archived it. Fine. Didn't think about it. That's it. My life doesn't change.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
Yeah.
But a few years ago, I would have gone totally the other way, you know? So it's also like taking that pause is really important so that you can realize that this is one of those tests and just like chill. It's really easy to be like really anxious and ready to engage and be like, oh, well, you know, this person, or when you're stuck in traffic, although the traffic thing, like,
It's annoying as fuck.
I'm like, it's not personal, like whatever. I'm like, you know, but sometimes people like will lose their shit at the grocery store or whatever and this and that. And it's just like, pause. It's fine. Maybe I'm meant to be stuck in this traffic for whatever reason.
There's
maybe,
a miracle. Like,
maybe I'm not meant to get there on time. Maybe I'm going to get there late and bump into someone that I had to meet. Or maybe I just need to practice leaving earlier. I don't know, whatever it is. But just pause. And that pause, it's like already your step back.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay.
Well, my favorite thing about pause, what an opportunity that Ariel has said is like, when you're in that pause, like you have free will. You have free will on however you want to react in any situation. Like I've just been thinking now, like I have free will, you know, like, that's it. Like you have free will to be positive, not positive, but pause and think, or to like honk, get out of the car, fuck this person up. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Like why even waste your energy on that?
Yeah. And also, people are crazy out here. Like if you're gonna have like road rage, like you never know what can happen. And it's like if you would have just like paused and chilled out and been like, wow, I actually feel bad for this person who's like honking at me or doing whatever, then you're better off.
No, that pause can really like take you from tipping over the edge. Like I feel like even like in relationships or like with my fiance, when you're like, and you're like, well, you want to come out with that comeback, or you want to say something, or you want to say something mean,
and it feels so good in the moment.
You're about to say it, and you're like, I really know I shouldn't.
Yeah,
let's just and then like take a second, and then I'm like, all right. And you know what? We're human. Listen, like, it's not like it doesn't, like, it still happens to the best of us. That's why I'm like repeating fucking Kabbalah 1 for some reason. Yeah. It's like, girl, you got to keep doing it, you know? Because it's really hard to always be so conscious about it. But that's what we're all here to work on. And that pause really helps you from making a situation what could be so much worse. You know? Do you have another one? Do you want me to go?
You can go.
Okay. The other one I think is just being really conscious and trying to find the ego and identifying it in us. I think that even like it's just so easy to not think you're ego driven, but it catches you in the best way. And ego can be so many things. It's like most likely any negative trait you may have. But like, you know, isolating yourself, envy, jealousy, anger, blame, being sad, like all of those things are ego driven. And at the end of the day, what ego is just like basically not your soul, right? What's your soul? It's like the best and highest version of yourself. God and the creator and the universe want you to be just have everything and just be full of light and love and sharing and caring and happy, right? That's what we all deserve to have. So ego is literally anything that's like not that.
Yeah.
Right? So I think it's really interesting to start noticing patterns. And one interesting one that I would like never say I had, but I've started to pay more attention to is blame. And I think that like little things, and I'll be like, oh, like why did you do this? But like if you hadn't done this, then I wouldn't have. And I think like even like saying it lightly, but then I realize that I actually say it a lot, and then I'm like, wait, am I like blaming everyone for my fucking issues? Or not issues, for little things. But then it goes back to like not everything happens all of a sudden. It's like, well, I'm like planting these little blame games like all over.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I need to work on, and that's something that like I just realized.
Yeah.
You know?
Honestly, I do that too with my boyfriend all the time. Something that he does that I guess triggers me.
Yeah.
Like bothers me, whatever. But like it's my problem clearly, because why does it bother me? Is like he'll say something and then I'll feel the need to be literally, you were here yesterday. He said something like, what about Jeff Bezos? I just paid for blah, 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 blah. And I go, well, I just paid he bought me like a $60 sweater or something like that. Okay, it was really not a big deal. But then we just like get into it. And then I'm like, I just spent $350 at the grocery store today for you, so you can buy me a $60 sweater. And it's like, why did I need to say that? Now I'm the one who's like going tit for tat, like, you know, like, and that's what I don't want. I'm like, why are you comparing? Because like I just did this, and it's like I'm literally comparing by answering you like that,
right?
You know?
Yeah.
So that is definitely the ego.
It is. But I just think it's interesting to start taking note of it. And one thing also that I've really enjoyed doing is sort of like, I know we say journaling, but like honestly just like journaling my thoughts.
Yeah, the mind dump.
But like the mind dump in the way it's like
so good.
I honestly feel fucking angry, and this fucking really like pissed me off. And like and it is annoying when whatever doesn't do the dishes, or it is annoying when this person says this, and I feel this and that. And like actually saying what I feel, not journaling, like, which I've done too, like I feel so grateful for and I feel so blessed for, and now I'm just like, get it off, like, yeah, just like. And I think that if you want to read it back, or don't rip it up, burn it, if you want to read it back, you can start to pay attention to the patterns of what your ego might be. Yeah, although I think we maybe have a little bit of everything, not everything, but like a little bit of some things, not just one, so you can really pinpoint what it is we need to work on. Which, by the way, anything that pretty much bothers you
is your problem.
No, it's something that clearly needs to be worked on. Yeah. And it's like there's something there for us, which I think we can go to the next one, which is learning about a tikkun. So a tikkun, most literally in Hebrew, means
I was
to
on the phone
repair.
with Marissa, and she said like, tikkun la. I don't know what she said.
I mean, we don't speak Hebrew. They just say your tikkun.
She said it in Hebrew, and I was like, oh my God, like, how do you know that?
So it's to repair and or correction, right? So tikkun. So it's like we all come into this world and we all have a tikkun, something that we came here to repair, correct, get better for our souls. We all have it. I think that it mostly comes up in the relationships we have. But so every single thing that triggers you, there's probably a tikkun there for you. There's probably something you got to work on. And if you start paying attention to it, you're going to start seeing it.
I think definitely one that was actually on the board, which I was thinking about it after, but over controlling.
Oh, I'm like, that's so me.
And like, it's like all the dishes need to be done before I go to bed. The bed needs to be made as soon as I wake up. All these things. And like, I was thinking about this morning because me and my boyfriend are so opposite in our schedules. Like he can go work out at 8 p.m., come eat dinner at 10:30 p.m., get in bed at 12, like shit like that. And it's like, I need to have dinner at like 6:30. I need to be in bed at 8:45 and asleep by like 9:30, things like that, right? So this morning, I'm just thinking like, I was just observing, but in the past, this would have annoyed me. Like my boyfriend goes to bed so late, and then he's in bed, and then he's like on his phone or watching TV, and I'm already like in bed asleep, and I'm like, oh my god, the light is annoying me, and then you just woke me up, and you're being fucking annoying because you just woke me up in the middle of my slumber, blah blah blah, right?
In the middle of my slumber.
And you know what? He probably gets annoyed that I wake up at fucking 6 a.m. and I'm turning the light on in the bathroom to get ready, and I'm making noise, and I'm brushing my teeth, and I'm out here making the coffee. It actually doesn't annoy him, but like, because he's that fucking chill. But if it were the other way around, I'd be like, yeah, that's fucking annoying. So it's like, it's either me who's annoying in the morning or him who's annoying in the night. And like, nobody's right or wrong. And it's me being over controlling. Cause I'm like, well, why can't he just wake up early with me? And then he'll be in bed earlier with me. And then he won't have to be on his phone annoying me with the bright light. That's me being over controlling.
Guys, sometimes they say we marry our ticoons.
Probably. If our dads are our ticoons. I'm kidding.
No, of course. And I think it comes up most in relationships. Most of people like, oh, that person just bothers me and my family. Or, you know, when my mom does this, it bothers me. Or my dad or my brother or my sibling or whatever. There's something there. Mm-hmm. There's something there you need to look at. You know, like my other huge thing is like, I think I judge.
Yeah.
I judge, you know, and maybe I like to say I don't judge, but it's a judge that it's like, it's not even a judge like, oh, I don't like what she's wearing. Like, not like that kind of judging. It's sort of like, I don't agree with your lifestyle. I don't agree with like how you live your life kind of vibe. Like, I wouldn't do that. And it's like, it's a judgment that's like, honestly, like on another level that maybe you don't like so outright notice. Like, like I'm not like a gossip kind of judge, you know? Or I feel like sometimes like I will be like, well, you know, like I don't really like this person in my family because, you know, they're like this and that. So like, I don't even feel like trying, but it's like, I'm judging them, not even thinking about like maybe what they have gone through, like what is going on in their life. Like, I'm not giving them any benefit of the doubt. And like, I'm not saying like, of course the people are like really abusive and like not healthy, you know, but for the most part, like everyone also has their own journeys going for their own things. So I think that these people are in my life to show me a little bit of compassion and patience, and also a little bit to share and really practice unconditional love. I feel like with family, sometimes it's that because it's like they're the people that you like really can't sort of get rid of. Yeah. So it's like sometimes I had a moment where I literally was like, oh my God, I almost said it. I was like, I hate this person. And then I was like, oh my God, that's like so mean. Yeah. And I was like, that's like not me, you know? And then I even think like, what would like my soul or my highest level say? And my highest level would never hate someone. Like, think about it. What would you as your best self do? Are you saying that you hate someone or that you can't stand this person? Like, no, if you're your best, most enlightened self, you're going to be like, oh, actually, maybe that person deserves a hug. Or maybe this person deserves even more love. Yeah. You know, because whatever. And if I can share a little bit more love, then I will do that, you know?
And again, it's not easy. But like, so if you are trying to like level up and become the best version of yourself, there's transformation in the change and like the uncomfortable aspects of your life.
And I feel like also that is why we keep having these reoccurring things, that same person, that same boyfriend, that same situation, like you said, the tenants, over and over again. It's going to come up until you decide that like, yeah, I'm done with this lesson. Yeah. Like I got it. I'm moving on. And I feel like someone asks sometimes like, oh, is your spiritual work ever done? And even our teacher who's been studying for like 20 plus years, she's like, no. Yeah. And of course I yell. And of course I still get upset. It's just like, then it goes to another level. You know, you're always sort of going to be practicing. So I guess we're never done until we're really done on our soul level. And then we, you know, leave this earth. But until then, I think that there's always going to be opportunities to practice being better. One thing that you said that I know you like is all I need is within me now. Yeah. What do you like about it?
Well, that's part of like when we're pausing, right? Like that's a good mantra to say to yourself if you're not sure what to do, if you want to practice this and you want to pause during a challenge. Like the first thing you can do is say all I need is within me now. And I actually did it the other day. And it's very helpful. Like I was in the bathroom, literally I was like peeing at Blue Ribbon. I don't even remember what happened. See, like these challenges are so insignificant sometimes. I remember I was literally sitting, peeing, and I was like, all I need is within me now. All I need is within me now. And that was it. And I moved on.
Yeah. Also, now that I just thought about that, when we were talking about all of a sudden, I feel like sometimes maybe when people are all of a sudden, it can come from a completely different angle. And it can be like all of our negativity building up, and then like something wrong will happen. Like you'll lose your fucking bag on your flight. Like I feel like that's sort of the things that people are like, why did this happen to me? Like, why did I lose my luggage before my trip? Or like something so dumb. And I feel like it's not exactly correlated, like, oh, just because I was like being negative in this relationship, therefore like the person will be mean to me. Like I think it'll just come up in a totally other way. That's why people think it's like sort of like off guard.
Yeah.
I just thought about that.
Actually really interesting. We've both lost like fine pieces of jewelry.
Yeah.
You lost yours literally after we were trying on wedding dresses.
It's really sad. Yeah.
It's really sad, but you were very calm and very chill. And when I lost a very important piece of jewelry to me in New York, and I was also like, what are we supposed to do? Like,
yeah.
So I'm like, I feel like
I'm waiting for the blessing, a big ass I'm like, rock. Something else is coming.
Ring finger with a rock.
You gotta think that something else better for your soul is coming. You know? But yeah, it's something like that you're like, oh, I just lost my necklace. Like, I don't deserve this. Like, why? Right. Like, why me? And then you start to go into the victim mode. Like, but I'm like, you know, like, why? Like, you know, I always take care of my things. And it's like, yeah, maybe you do, but maybe
you should talk to Annie yesterday.
Like, yeah, maybe you were talking shit. Maybe you were gossiping the week before. Maybe you were like holding a grudge, and it's like, and then it just manifested into this.
Yeah.
So yeah, nothing happens all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway,
another thing that also I've been talking about, it's not necessarily a Kabbalistic lesson, but it's something that I did speak about with our teacher, and Mel Robbins also talks about it. So I guess it's like a constant theme in my life. The way she calls it, which she just wrote a book, which I'm going to have to read, it's called The Let Them Theory. And right now in my life, sometimes I'm just like, I'm over these people. I'm over it. Like, and guys, it's natural. I'm like, why are these people in my life? Like, why do I need to be dealing with this? Why me? Why victim, right?
Yeah.
And
wipe the tear.
Wipe the tear. And again, everyone there, and Ariel says like, everyone is in your life for a reason. So I'm telling myself that like everyone there is for a purpose. There's a purpose to everything. And you know what? That's so empowering to think that like everything in my life has a purpose. Not just think like, oh, this person's being mean for no reason. Ouch. Yeah. Poor me. It's like, there's purpose in my life. I'm here to be better, you know? But also the other part of it is like, do what you have to do. And I like to control people and the outcome so it benefits me. That makes you sound like a manipulator. And it's not. But sometimes I think like I want people to act a certain way so that like
so your anxiety is not
so my anxiety is fine, or like so that I have a good time this weekend and I don't have to be stressed out about everyone else. And it's just like, but why am I stressing out about everyone else? Let them. Mel Robbins says, let them. And even Ariel was like, let them. Let them be what they want to be. They have their own journey. They have their own things. Let them have I'm a mediator. Like I used to call myself the glue of my family. He's like, you're literally calling yourself the glue.
Yeah.
So why do you think you're always in the middle of every issue? You're calling yourself the glue. You think you are here to fix everyone. So therefore, I'm like, why am I caught in everybody's mess? Why is everyone venting to me about how they got into a fight about someone else, right? And he's like, but you call yourself the glue. You think that you can fix everybody. You can't. Don't try to fix everybody. You're not here to fix everybody. Let everyone have their own relationships. Let everyone just deal with it on their own. You know, you can be there and not even be supportive. Just be yourself, you know, give love and step back. Let everyone be. And another thing he said that was so interesting, he's like, the world is perfect. He's like, the world is perfect. You see it as imperfect. Like everyone as they are perfectly as they should be. If they wanted to change, they would. If they're choosing to be there, it's because then they want to be there. Maybe they're complaining about their reality, but if they hated their reality or they didn't like it, they could do something about it. So everything is perfectly where it needs to be. If someone wants to do something, then they would.
That's really cute.
So let everybody be where they are.
Yeah.
Stop trying to change the situation and the scenario and everyone. Let them be.
I love that.
It's perfect. The only thing you can work on and change is obviously myself.
Yeah.
So that's it.
I love that.
Yeah, I'm like, that's
the spiel.
That's my lessons lately.
So don't forget the mantra, all I need is within me now.
Pause, what a pleasure.
What a pleasure.
Pause, what an opportunity.
And that's just like the intro to Kabbalah 1 and what we've been practicing a lot, and it's very helpful. And yeah, we invite you to practice these modalities.
I think these are all very practical.
They're easy and practical
tools and tips, and they're so simple to implement into your life. If you have one or two takeaways from this episode, is just every single time you have a conundrum, just say pause, what an opportunity. And the next one, if you're like, why is this in my, but don't say like, why me? Just say, why is this in my movie? Because you're the director of that movie, and you can change the scene, and you can change the actors and how you want it to play out. So why is this in it for me? Not why me. Why is this here purposefully in my life? What's in it for me to learn?
And then remember that you have free will to react however you want to.
I know, it's beautiful. It's like, wow, we can make choices every single day.
Literally.
Not an autopilot.
Mic drop. Boom. All right, guys.
Okay, you guys.
We love you. Happy Friday.
Happy
Ciao,
Friday.
bye.
Ciao, bye.